So it's the new year, and I decided that I want to make a video kind of going over my past year because it was a fairly busy year, kind of exciting and unexciting and happy and not happy, but I don't know, I think it is one of my best years. So I have questions, I think 20 questions that are behind my screen, so I'll be reading them, but I don't have glasses, so if I have to repeat myself, that's why. What was the single best thing that happened this past year? That hands down is meeting Steven. Steven is my boyfriend. He has been in my life since I was 13, and I'm almost 18 now, by the way. So, it's been an online relationship, long distance, and it was that, while I was in Alberta, that I met him in February. I don't know if I said that already. For 4 days, and it was kind of I don't know, it was the best thing in my whole entire life. Nothing until I move in with him will top those 4 days. What is the single most challenging thing that happened? I don't know if I can pick one. I think I have two. One would be, I had moved back from Alberta to live here with my parents again. I think that's been pretty challenging because we butt heads a lot. We don't get along. My family is just all the. And the second part would probably be challenging is keeping the distance with Steven. It's hard being in a long distance relationship, and now that I've actually met him, I just want to be around him more, and it's harder to be away from him. What was an unexpected joy this past year? I think it was how close me and my best friend got. Me and my best friend, we became best friends our first year of high school. We saw each other in the halls a lot, but we never really spoke, and he had a girlfriend who I was really intimidated by because she was really tall and really pretty, and I don't know, I was just really intimidated by her. And so he added me on MSN one day, and we started talking, and we just became best friends. It was instant. We were kind of we were going back and forth for a lot of years, and then when I moved to Alberta, we completely stopped talking, and I really missed him. And then when I came back, we started talking and we started hanging out, and I don't know, I think that was an unexpected joy, is to just become close with him again. What was an unexpected obstacle? I had a best friend. We've been friends since the 2nd grade, and we kind of went our ways during 8th grade to high school, I guess. And then during the summer, we hung out every day. I had her over. We had sleepovers for a week. We went camping and all this fun stuff. And she was really upset that she didn't have a boyfriend. And she's I don't know, she kind of just matched my ex-boyfriend, I guess. And me and my ex-boyfriend were really close friends. So I hooked them up, right? And then she got all mad at me and shit went down, and it was a big deal. It was a lot of drama that I didn't need, that I've never had high school drama before, so I know, it was just a lot of bullshit that I did not need. And I lost my best friend, and I lost my ex-boyfriend best friend. I lost them both, so I didn't expect that, and it was pretty hard for me to go through. I was pretty upset, made my boyfriend pretty upset, all the drama, but it's over now, so I'm over it. It just happened. Pick 3 words that best describe 2011. Or I guess 2011, whatever you guys want to call it. Eventful. Eventful, I guess that's how you say it. Eventful, challenging, and sad. I think Steven would describe my 2011 as probably sad too. He probably thinks it was sad. Challenging, definitely, he would. And he'd probably think it was I don't know, pretty exciting for me as well. Just because we met. But that was eventful, but I think he'd say Like, it was a good year for me, I think. Pick 3 words your spouse would use to describe their 2011. I think it's been a pretty hard year for him as well. He got accepted into the military, so he's been busy with like training and like BMQ and stuff, and boot camp. So, no, I think it's been very stressful for him, definitely. Dream career thing that he's always wanted, and then me and him getting back together was like a big deal too, and then just him dealing with like the distance and like with all like everything in his life changing. What were the best books you read this year? Oh my god. I think this is like my favorite question. I've been obsessed with reading the past, I guess, 2 years. Like, I've always been a big reader, but like now it's like books. I just recently finished a series by Cassandra Clare called The Mortal Instruments. That whole series is just amazing. So far there's 4 books. I don't know if she's gonna keep going. I hope she keeps going. It sounds like she's gonna keep going. So those are the best 4 books I've read. The Infernal Devices. I just scratched myself. The Infernal Devices, and it's like Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince and all them. They're so good. Well, I'm just starting Clockwork Prince, and I'm pretty excited. And the Mortal Instruments, they're like City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, and City of Fallen Angels. So they're really good. And I reread the Harry Potter series this year again. I read them all 7 of them. So those are amazing as always. Yeah. With whom were your most valuable relationships? Steven, obviously, my now boyfriend, but at the beginning of the year he was not my boyfriend, he was somebody else's boyfriend. But I've always treasured our relationship. I don't know, we just could never go back to friends after, it's always been more than friends, even when we're with other people, like, it's just always been like that. And I really am thankful to have him, because he's the rock to my life. Like, my life is so unstable, and then with him there, I have that stability that I need so badly. My friend Susie from Alberta, she's been a pretty important person in my life this year. While I was there only from during 2011 till March, so I wasn't there very long, but like when I was going through rough times, I'd call her or text her, I guess, and we'd hang out and we'd have lots of fun together. And I think she knew me better than anyone else did over there. What was your biggest personal change from January to December of this past year? I think it was how faithful I've been in my religion. While I lived in Alberta, I was really strong in what I believed in. And when I moved back in March, like, everything just went downhill. I started swearing again. I started drinking again. I started doing all these things that, while I was in Alberta, I wouldn't have even thought about doing. In what ways did you grow physically? The way I look right now. I used to be very insecure and stuff, and I feel like I'm confident now because of the way I look. I couldn't go around, like, walk around in a bikini and not feel like everyone's staring at me because I have fat, but they're staring at me because I look good. And I know that's really narcissist and stuff, but I'd rather be a little bit narcissistic. Is that the word? Narcissistic? I don't know. But I'd rather feel good about myself than feel terrible about myself. So I guess I grew by just looking good, I guess. Good personal, physical health. In what ways did you grow in your relationship with others? I began trying to get along with my mom. Right now I don't try because she doesn't deserve it. But when I came back from Alberta in March, I had tried really hard to be friends with her. And I just feel like she hates me. And like there's nothing I can do to change, like make her change her mind. So I guess I didn't really grow that way. I guess I tried to be the bigger person and it didn't work. So now I'm being like a 2-year-old. And that's okay because I'm 17 and I don't need to be a grown-up yet. I'm serious about my boyfriend, so I feel like I have to grow up a little bit to kind of match his stride. But, you know, I guess I grew up that way. Here. So, my biggest time waster. Reading books. Hands down, reading books. Not that it's a waste of time, but I could have been writing my 10-page essay due in like 2 weeks, or I could have been like doing schoolwork, but instead I've decided to read books, and I've been staying up till 3 in the morning. Well, usually 2 in the morning, but if not 3 in the morning, just to finish books. Like, I just got a Kobo Vox, I don't know, and it's an e-reader. So then if I get bored, I just start reading. And I had it the weekend before Christmas, and I've already finished 2 books, but I will show you in what amount of time that it took me to read these 2 books. You see that? Yeah, so I've spent a lot of time reading, and if like I can read a lot of books on this in such a little like amount of time, I've already read. Before I got it, I was using like actual like books, like physical books, right? So I read I think like 4 or 5 of them. 4 of them in like I think less than a month. So like a book a week, not even. So yeah. What was your best way you used your time this past year? I have spent a lot of my time on video call and like webcam with Steven, like an insane amount of time. And I think that's the best way I can ever spend my time, is seeing him, because I don't get to see him physically. And I don't know, just seeing his face and seeing his smile, and hearing his voice, nothing can top that ever. So what is the biggest thing you learned this past year? I learned that I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be, and that if people try to like mold me into the perfect mold for them, I'm not gonna be perfect for myself, and I'm just gonna end up being unhappy later. Like, I may be all fine with it in the beginning, all happy that I'm getting so much attention, but really they're not paying attention to me, they're paying attention to who they want me to. That's all there is to it. Number 20. Create a phrase or statement that describes 2011 for you. Oh, that's really hard. I guess what's meant to be will always find a way. That's my phrase for every single year because it's true. Like, if I wasn't supposed to meet Steven, I wouldn't have gone to Alberta. If I wasn't supposed to go to Alberta, I wouldn't have. Like, if I wasn't supposed to find Christ, I wouldn't have. Like, whatever, like, what's meant to be will find a way, and it will find a way because it always has so far.